Oh shoot, cousin.
We live.
We
We
live.
gonna do it live.
One day we gonna be live. That's what they say.
What's up, world?
How y'all doing?
How y'all night going in? Well, y'all morning, y'all early morning going.
How it's
Cause
going?
what we gonna be talking about today? Tonight.
Man.
Well, today. This early morning.
So we got this thing where it's like Midnight-Nanigans, shenanigans. And today was supposed to be like a feel it in your body Friday,
Mm-hmm.
but we already entering into Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And Saturday is about shaking it up. So let's ruffle some feathers.
Cause you know it's a lot of backup dancers out there that ain't motherfucking real. Pac was a backup dancer for Digital Underground, was what I told. He was just a backup dancer, an actor that wasn't real.
A. So, so the thing about people is that they'll put you in a position to where you feel like you got to speak out. And that's where we at tonight, Midnight-Nanigans. And we really didn't want to go live, but people put us in a position to go live. So here it go. This is where we at. So tonight there was a dispute that Tupac was
We always getting
not
into some shit.
a real one. And we simply went into the store, not asking for no problems or none of that, but talking to somebody that we talk to every time we go into the store. You feel me? And I don't even know how the conversation went, but somehow I always put myself in a position to advocate for what I feel is right. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what that was about. We went into the store talking to a friend, about our channel who told us that we were boring and that we didn't have no content.
He wanted to see that ear shake. He wanted to see them ears shaking in his
We
hand.
didn't have no content to reel people in, which we are very aware of. You feel me? But at the same time, we were only trying to get our viewers up, you know, get people to subscribe to our channel. So when the content got real, then we had people that was following us, which a long time ago we realized that not everybody is going to follow us,
Hmm.
but they still going to watch us.
Hmm.
So point being is that we putting out this live for a message. Like at the end of the day, it's a lot of things that's going on, and it's a lot of things that people fail to realize, and that's the point. It's 2020 and it's supposed to be the year of vision and all that good stuff, but people still fail to see.
Hmm.
People still fail to realize.
And that's why
And
Pac said it wasn't no hope for the future.
and this person in the store told us that
There's no hope
Tupac
for the future.
was not a real one.
Hmm.
And for me, Tupac gave me hope.
Hmm.
Tupac
We're
showed
saying there's no hope for the future.
Tupac told me that just because I was where I was at did not mean that's where I was going in life. So that's what this message is about. Because at the same time, a young black man lost his life recently. And that young man was, I don't want to say his name wrong, King Von.
I believe, yeah, King Von
King Von.
was his name.
King Von. And the only way I know that is because my son, a little black boy, came home and told me King Von was dead and that he got killed by people that was supposed to be watching him,
Hmm.
people that was supposed to be idolizing him, people that was supposed to be there supporting him.
Hmm.
And yet, still, King Von lost his life and was driven to save his life by the same people that did not help him
Hmm.
in that moment. And that's the problem. So I want to talk about that. And that really messed me up. For the man in the store to tell me that Tupac was not a real one.
Mhm.
So let's define a real one. What does it mean to be a real one these days?
Well, you can't be a backup dancer. You can't be that. You can't beat the system. You can't right there, mama, and every nationality be able to relate to it, from Hispanics to blacks to whites. Like if you didn't relate to that song, you're not human. You didn't come through the woman. You didn't come by the pussy. Excuse my French, but if you can't relate to that, like if you can't relate to the message, and a lot of people can't, I feel like that that gentleman felt like Tupac wasn't a real one because he wasn't a real gangster, but we all knew that. Like, you know what I mean? Like we knew that Pac was a poet. Miss Jada Pickett tried to tell us that he was a poet. Like that wasn't him. Like he wasn't thug. Like even he said that. I graduated from that. Like, you know what I mean? Like at some point you got to be able to beat the system. So once you become an actor and all that other stuff, like people feel like that's the image that you got to hold. But when you, I believe that in bash me if I'm wrong, but gangsters have soul too.
Yeah.
Gangsters, you know what I mean? Like
Just like
it's I
Prince.
didn't met a lot of gangsters where I feel like you shouldn't be a gangster. Like
Sisters have
you got
soul
so much
too.
motherfucking knowledge in your soul that you just don't even understand. Like, you know what I mean? It's just the system and what you caught up in and what they want you to be in, what you gotta portray in. You know what I mean? Like what you gotta get into to feed your family. You know what I'm saying? To put food on the table and shit. Like I understand that part. Like, and a lot of them out there, I believe that it's a lot of gangsters that don't want to be gangsters. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just an image. It's a way of living. It's a lifestyle. It's like almost like, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like straight not being able to understand gay. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lifestyle, and it's like it's not for you to understand. But these, at the end of the day, these are humans. You know what I mean? Everybody's human. Gangsters have feelings. Gay people have feelings. Straight people have feelings. Lesbians have feelings. Bisexual people have feelings. Like, you know what
People
I
got
mean? Like,
feelings.
people got feelings. Like, whether he, like people don't respect his gangster, you still got to respect the message in the person. You still got to respect what they delivering. You still got to respect all that. Like Pac said, I never thought it would be my own that shoot me down. I
Yeah.
always thought it was gonna be somebody else. I never thought it was gonna be a person that had the same skin color as me that
Right.
was going, you know what I'm saying, tear me down. Trust no fucking body. Trust no one.
Hmm.
No one. And I
And
I
and
resonate. I
and not
resonate.
and not to take away from the fact that thug life is not only a image, but it's also a message,
Mm-hmm.
because the very meaning of thug life is the hate that you give infants fucks everybody. And it's a message in that, for the simple fact that Tupac was raised by a single mother.
Hmm. That gave him a composition book for Christmas.
Yep.
For
And not
Christmas,
and
a
not
black
only
and white
that,
composition book.
but
Write your feelings and your emotions.
she conceived him, but the whole time that she was pregnant, she was in jail. So he was imprisoned as a black young male before he was able to commit any crimes. You feel me? And that's a message in that, because of the very simple fact that a lot of black men, a lot of young black kids are held accountable for wrongs that they never even committed,
Committed. Mm-hmm.
for the simple fact that it's their skin color and because of their gender.
Mm-hmm.
So you have two things counted against you.
Mm-hmm.
And as a black mother, I have always taught my son, for the simple fact that I know in history and everything like that, that You got two things counting against you, son.
And my mom used to always tell me and my brother that those was your two strikes. You a man and you black. Black and you a man.
You a
You're
man
on your second strike already
and you
coming into
black
this world.
coming into this world. So you got two things counting against you. So everything about that, either you gonna follow the trend and be what they say you are,
Hmm.
or you gonna try to go against the trend and still fight for your rights as
Hmm.
being just a person in society. So that's the message that we need to uphold, for the simple fact that Tupac is dead.
And they still won't give him his roses.
He not even here,
Still won't give him his
and they
roses.
won't give him his
Are
roses.
you willing to learn them? Are you willing to listen? You got 2 ears and one mouth. You're supposed to listen more than you talk.
And not only
So I don't
that,
understand how
they
you
giving
not
him his
hearing these
roses,
messages
and
in
he
his
not
song.
even here.
Somebody else wrote them.
Give me my roses
He
while I'm
delivered them.
still here.
Regardless if
Give
somebody else
me
wrote them,
my
he delivered
roses
them.
while
He
I'm
made it
still here.
uh reality. He made that shit real, whether it was the image, whether he was acting, whether he was portraying. And sometimes it's not self. It's sometimes it's the people that we surround ourselves with. You know what I mean? And if you surround yourself with other black men, we don't have it's hopeless. Like because we already have those two strikes against us, being men and being black. So we already looked at as the outcast anyway. Oh, they the
Anyways,
thug, they this, they that, they that. They gonna always try to find something to hold against us because shit, I feel like we're a threat.
and the point that
I feel like my black is magic.
I
My black is beautiful.
oh, it's powerful.
My black is powerful.
And man, people get
My-
quiet when I walk in the room.
hmm,
And I wonder why, because my whole thing is that I'm not against nobody. I'm for everybody.
everybody. If you
I'm a
ain't for
socialist at
everybody,
heart. I'm an
then you stand for
activist
nobody. You don't even stand
at
for
heart,
yourself
you know?
because
And
we
the thing is that people
all
will
got
leave
here the
you with
same.
no
Through the coochie,
hope.
by the coochie,
No
we
hope.
came through it.
Because they saying Tupac was a sellout.
Mhm. He wasn't the
Because
real
he
one.
used this platform for what it needed to be used for, to send a message.
Hmm.
Because people wasn't going to listen to Tupac if he was coming out there saying, yeah, you know,
They
black
just wasn't gonna
power,
listen to his poetry.
you know, this
They
is
just
what it
wasn't gonna
is.
listen to his poetry.
And
He had to have an image
black
with it.
women
He had to have a
matter,
role.
you know, we was raised by single black women.
To all
So
my single women on welfare, y'all didn't hear
let's
that?
honor the
Y'all
black
didn't hear this
woman.
message?
They wasn't trying to hear that.
If don't nobody else care, Tupac cared. What?
What?
There's nothing you can tell me about Pac. He
Hey,
was a real one.
but
Period.
in the store, somebody told us Tupac was not a real one,
Hmm.
for the simple fact that we was just simply saying that it's a lot of people that didn't recognize blacks until Tupac. A lot of
Hey,
people don't even know black, but they know Tupac.
hey.
How you
A
don't
lot of
know
people didn't
black?
even like black, but they like Tupac.
How you don't know
They like
black,
that
but you
message.
like Tupac?
They like that
Tupac is
message.
black. He a whole black
Thug
man.
Tupac made Thug Life a whole brand.
And people don't even know what thug life
Mean.
even mean.
They don't know what it mean.
They don't know what it means.
They don't know what it
They
mean
think
at
it mean
all.
they think it mean robbing. They think it mean
Killing.
killing. They think it mean what they say. We all in the videos, you know. Thug passion. Give me some of that thug
Hmm.
passion.
And it don't even mean that.
Baby.
It mean
And it
that's
don't
what they
even mean
gonna
that.
label you as.
That's what they gonna label you as. And that's
A
what
thug.
they
Thug
gonna
life.
label your children as.
And they
Because the very
children. And
hate
they children.
that you give infants F's everybody. For the simple fact that you instilling this hate into the children.
Hmm.
The children is following these trends.
Hmm.
And that's what I recognize, because I don't know a lot of things until my kids tell me
Hmm.
it's a teen.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, mama, that's a teen.
Hmm.
Oh mama, that's not what that means. No, that's not what that means.
Hmm.
That's not the hype. It's all about the hype.
Hmm.
But Tupac was a hype man
For Digital Underground.
for Digital Underground.
He was just a
But
backup
you want to
dancer.
tell me that Tupac
Tupac didn't
wasn't a
dance.
real one?
He didn't dance.
Tupac wasn't a real one. But he the same
Tupac
one that told us about Brenda
having a baby.
having a baby.
He was the one that told us little Natasha was so grown. You know what I mean? Like he talked about real life shit that was happening. Little Natasha walking into that liquor store, losing her life.
Man.
He talked about real shit that we need to talk about, that the community needs to. He was saving communities. And
And
he
he was
also said he never thought it would be his own. His own that
cause
set him up.
cause Tupac stood for Black Lives Matter. And at the time,
Hey,
Black
his
Lives
mama was a
Matter
whole
wasn't even a
Black
thing.
Panther. His mama was a
Black
whole
Lives
movement.
Matter wasn't even a thing.
Hmm.
Come on now.
His mama was a
Are
whole
you
movement.
sleeping?
Hmm.
Or are you woke? Because we so busy trying to follow trends that we not even recognize it's the very trends that's keeping us blinded from the truth,
Hmm.
from what's really going on,
Hmm.
from what's really going on.
Hmm.
Come on now.
Hmm.
Come on now. And I'm not one to make it seem like I know the truth because I'm still trying to seek it
Hmm.
to this very day. And that's why a lot of times people feel hopeless. They feel low
Hmm.
because they can't keep up with the trends.
Yeah.
Not everybody got the means to keep up with the trends.
Yeah.
So while you trying to follow trends and go with what's in and go with what you feel may be right,
Hmm.
it's the very platform that's meant to keep you down, that's meant to keep you oppressed,
Hmm.
to keep you depressed.
Hmm.
Because while you got on all these fashion designer clothes and everything like that, they sleeping well.
Hmm.
They paid.
Hmm.
And you
They.
paid them.
Hmm.
You paid them.
Yeah.
You paid them. Because while the police is out there taking out all the drug dealers that's in the streets, it's still motherfucking people that, and excuse my language. Ooh, excuse
Hmm.
my language.
Excuse my
It's still the
French.
people that's addicted to the drugs that's out there in the streets. And just because you took them drug dealers out the streets, they gonna find them some more drug dealers. So while you sent a task force to go out and get these drug dealers, did you send a task force to help these very people that strung out on these drugs?
Hmm. Mm-mm.
Because in order for a drug dealer to be in business, it gotta have fiends
Hmm.
fiending for the stuff. It's
Mm-hmm.
not the drug dealers that's the ones that's the problem. It's the fiends.
Hmm.
That's not the problem. And that's what I feel like Tupac was trying to represent.
Hmm.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how they got all these task forces that's out there taking out all these drug dealers. Where are the task forces that's out there helping the people that's strung out on these drugs?
Hmm.
And let's talk about the reasons that these people are strung out on these drugs. Let's talk about the simple fact that it's mothers out there that's trying to take care of their children and can't. And they trying to find a way to uplift themselves to be able to do that.
It's mothers losing their kids to the system that got to turn to drugs to be able to cope with some shit, to be able to get through
Let's
some
talk
shit.
about that.
Let's talk about shit like
Where is
that.
the help?
Hmm.
Where is the help?
Hmm.
Where is the help?
We don't get
Because
none.
our very oppressors is the one that's making us feel like we are less than. And that's why there is no middle class.
Hmm.
There is the rich, and it's like this, and there is the poor.
Hmm.
There is no middle class
They're gonna view you the same.
because you go work
If
every
you ain't
day.
doing what they doing, they gonna view you the same. And even if you are doing what they doing, they still gonna look at you like, how you get here?
You could work
The fuck you
every
doing?
day of your life
What drugs you selling? So now they
and
looking for
never
things
commit
to
a
go
crime,
against you.
never use no drugs, and still be at the bottom. Meanwhile, it's people out there talking about selling drugs, talking about killing people, ain't never killed nothing in their life. Never killed. You ain't gonna kill nothing or let nothing die.
Hmm.
And you talking about it and you getting clout.
Hmm.
Why is that? And our youth are looking up to these people
Hmm.
and we don't even know. We don't even know. I didn't even know my son knew about King Von. And I had to go listen to some of his music and not to knock him. Rest in peace, King Von. Because I watched a couple of videos and I seen how he lost his life. And I had to think, if it was me and
Hmm.
my cousin wouldn't have been the only one dead that day. And that don't make it better because it would have been several lives lost that night.
Hmm.
But in his songs and stuff, he talking about these things that he went through that night.
Hmm.
He talked about it. He prophesized it. The same thing as Tupac.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing as Tupac. Machiavelli.
Come with me, Hail
Illuminati.
Mary. Come with see.
All that.
And do we have
You
it
live by the
now?
gun, you die
Die
by
by
the
the gun.
gun.
Yeah.
In the simple fact that I'm a believer in our rights and exercising those rights. And as a law abiding citizen, you gotta have guns.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have
Hey.
guns.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not to be
Hey.
at the club showing
Mm-hmm.
your gun, or it's not to be on YouTube showing your guns, and it's not to be on Facebook showing your guns for clout.
Hmm.
It's for protection. And it's for protection for the very people that's trying to come and take that from you. It's not to use it against people that you're supposed to be uplifting.
Mm-hmm. Hey, but Pac said those people was the closest ones to him. Trust nobody. That man said, if I could tell y'all anything, trust nobody. And that's what was crazy to me because it's like it's still to hear somebody still not give him his roses while after death. And it's like, damn, like you still didn't get the message in just his being. Like he said, my music gonna live forever.
It's going to live forever.
Live forever. Trust nobody. Cause it be the ones closest to you. It be your right hand, your left hand, your backbone, your two bottom feet. Like that will be the ones that set you up on some okey doke shit. Fuck around with the fuck around and you get fucked around.
Hey.
You get fucked around.
And that's real
Hmm.
shit. And that's real shit from bullshit.
Hmm.
And that's why it's such a thing. And I say such a because I'm not ignorant. I'm very educated. Don't get it twisted. But it's a such a thing as little fires everywhere. For the simple fact that you trying to be out there in the world, you trying to follow these trends, you trying to be up in the club, you trying to talk about because Tupac was the same one talking about B words up in the club and all these different things and all those different things like that. But
But
he
he also
also
was the one that said that I tell you, if we go to a club and it was lit and we turned up, like come to this club. But he was also giving that message, telling these young black men, white men, Hispanic man, jail ain't the place to be. This ain't the place to be. This not where you
right.
want to be. You know what I mean? So you gotta respect. You gotta recognize real. You gotta
And Tupac
respect
was
it.
the same one that used nigga. Nigga, a derogatory term in a lot of his music
hmm
and in a lot of his lyrics.
But did you know
Not
what he
only
meant by that word?
not only lyrics as far as music go,
hmm
because he was a poet.
Can you tell me what he meant by that?
Never ignorant, getting goals
Mhm.
accomplished. Never ignorant,
Ignorant,
getting
getting
goals
goals accomplished.
accomplished. So when you talk about these things, you have to know exactly what you're talking about. And we only know the truth based on what people then told us.
hmm
You have to seek truth within yourself. You have to know your heart. You have to know the real first. You got to be rooted. Ooh,
Rooted
You gotta
unapologetically.
you gotta be rooted. You gotta be rooted within self before anybody could tell you anything, because you could be swayed easily.
Hmm.
Because just like uh it's always some type of written works to back up any story.
Hmm.
And that's why they say don't believe everything you read on the internet. But a lot of times the internet is all we got.
Hmm.
We don't know the real. We don't have these people in our lives telling us the real. There is no stories, there is no folk tales. A lot of times people learn stuff from their ancestors, but that's dying. All we got to look at is the internet. All we got to look at is stories that we hear from people in the store. How easily somebody was able to try at least to
Hmm.
tell me Tupac wasn't a real one. And maybe Tupac wasn't a real gangster. Maybe he wasn't
Hmm.
really doing the things that he rapped about in his music. But the simple fact, the things that he rapped about in his music was actually going on. And don't get it twisted, I wear the red rag only because it's part of my, you know, attire, and because I know actual people that live by this color and died by this color, but at the end of the day, it's just a color. And my favorite color is red. So if I wear a red rag, it's only because my favorite color is red.
Hmm.
Even though I didn't know people that lived by this color and that then died by this color, but this color do not define me,
Hmm.
because at the end of the day, we all bleed red.
On the inside, our blood is blue.
And on the inside, our blood is blue
Hmm.
before it even come out.
Before it touch air.
So it's all propaganda in the end.
Hmm.
But the point is come on now, we got to think. Our youth is listening to this.
Hmm.
My son, a product of me. Not only a product of me, but a product of my ancestors. And this is not what our ancestors would have wanted.
Hmm.
Come on now, it's all about progression. And if we not progressing, what exactly are we doing? Are we just living to die?
Hmm.
Even though we all living to die, that's the one thing you guaranteed in life is death.
Yeah, because you got to die by that. Like when you, at some point, you got to die. I don't think it was plausible for our ancestors because we was in captivity by them. Like, you know what I'm saying? So then when we kind of got our sense of freedom, it was like our freedom of speech or our freedom of expression to do what the fuck we want to do. And then I feel like once you go into those type of roles, it's like at some point you gotta die by that. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like you gotta stay true to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no way out. And that's kind of like slavery.
Oh yeah, and slavery is deep.
That's kind of
Cause
like
why
slavery
have
for
all
me.
of our black leaders died in violence?
Hmm. Pox. Hmm.
Why have all of our black leaders died in violence?
Hmm.
And not to take away from any other race or any other ethnicity, any other culture, because in any other culture, race, ethnicity, people are dying. People die. And that's what it is. But we can only talk about what we know, and we could only talk about what we've been through.
Hmm.
And all of our black leaders have
Died
died
in violence.
in violence
Hmm.
and in vain,
Hmm.
and in the name of trying to change.
For our own, for one of our own to say that they were actors, that it wasn't real. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't that. And I feel like anybody that really listened to Pac knew that he wasn't that. If you listen to his message, if you picked up his book, I'm a type of person that'll pick up a book and read it. If you pick up his book and read it, then you know, like, oh, at heart, that was a poet.
Right.
He wasn't that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but if acting came along with it to beat the system, to keep him out of jail, to keep the bag going, I don't fault him for that. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like, I don't fault him. If they was gonna give him a bag for writing a scene in poetic justice, above the rim, juice, any of that, like, you can't label him as a sellout. You can't label him as he wasn't a real one. Why? Because he wasn't out killing and doing the stuff that you thought he should be doing, as him having thug life tatted on his chest. Or, I mean, I don't understand that part.
Right. But he rapped about the gun and he died by the gun because he was shot down and he was shot down.
Oh, he was
And it's,
shot 5 times before he died.
oh,
He
he was shot
lived.
5 times before he
He
died. And
lived.
he also shot a couple of officers before he died
Mm-hmm.
and got acquitted of those charges for the
Mm-hmm.
simple fact those officers was also in the wrong.
In the dirt, in the mud.
But not everybody got money
Hmm.
to fight
Yeah.
for their lives.
Hmm.
And a lot of times it's the oppressors. I'm not gonna say are because I'm not in that situation.
Hmm.
I don't live that life.
Hmm.
So I can't say are, but I say are because of the simple fact that I resonated with Pac.
Hmm.
Pac taught me a lot of things that not even my mama, as a single black mama, was able to teach me.
Hmm.
I learned a lot from Pac.
Hmm.
Pac was like my
Hmm. With
you know,
mine
he was
too.
like my daddy a little bit. He taught
Hey.
me a little bit. Big taught me a little bit.
Hmm.
It's a lot of rappers out there, and that's why you got to use your platform to uplift.
Hmm.
You got to use your platform to teach. And so people could say them cousins is boring, but we realize you got to use your platform for something.
Hmm.
And we know we got a message to send. It's just finding the right platform.
Hmm.
It's because people is all about trends and they'll watch you and they won't like, they won't subscribe, they won't even share your message
Hmm.
because it don't follow the trend.
Hmm.
And a lot of things that we got to say, a lot of things that we do is not about trends. So people don't like us,
Hmm.
but they watch us. So that's why I said, cousin, you know what? We gonna go live. We gonna tell about this because that frustrated me for another black man to tell me that Tupac wasn't a real one.
Hmm.
And maybe he wasn't a real gangster because he wasn't even about the life that he said he was about. But people put him in a position to be about that life.
Hmm.
And that brother, guess what? He lost his life. He's no longer here. And he's at the very age that I'm at now as a child to where Tupac died. It hit me.
Hmm.
It hit me. And I didn't even know this man. So you can't tell me that Tupac wasn't a real one.
Hmm.
You can't tell me that. Because I read his book, I read his poems,
Hmm.
and I'm a poet. And I know a poet when I see a poet.
Hmm.
And even if I don't see him, if I read them lines come from within. Can't nobody teach you that. Can't nobody teach you how to be a poet.
Oh, his mama taught him. She got him that composition book for Christmas. That's some of the gifts he was getting.
It
His,
comes from
but
within.
she knew
She
that
knew.
he had a message.
She saw
She knew
something
that he
within
was gonna be the
him
gift. That was
that
the
was
present.
deep within
Your
him.
words, what you write down, is gone.
That was something that was deep within him.
Prophecy. He prophesies a lot of things.
That's believing in something
He
that you
prophesies a
see.
lot of things.
And people don't believe what they see.
Hmm.
They want to believe what they've been told to
Hmm.
believe in. And that's the problem. I don't want my kids to believe in the words that these trendsetters are putting out there. I want to be able to teach my kids. I want to be able to put something into them. I want to be able to instill something into them that's greater than trends, things that's going to eventually die, that's going to eventually fade away. And then what are you left with? I want to teach my kids sense of self. And if we could use this platform, it's sense of self.
Mm-hmm.
It's sense of self. It's being aware of who you are within. Because when you're aware of who you are within, can't nobody take that from you. And for me, that's the meaning of being woke. That part, that's the meaning of being woke. And that's all I got to say.
And maybe that goes into um, what Tip said. And, I'm not gonna knock them or whatever the case may be. Um, I just don't think that was the right message to send across for people to not come to his city and kill people because they messing up the venue and they messing up the money and they messing up this or whatever. The stronger message would have been just don't
Stop.
kill at all.
Don't kill, period.
If it was a fist fight, fight with your fist and let it be that.
And
You know
let
what
it
I
be
mean?
that.
Like, why was it even guns pulled out in this brawl? Everybody seemed to be fighting or whatever the case may be. After that, it should have been that. But
Mm-hmm.
which goes into what we talking about. It's deeper than that. It's always something deeper. It's in the soul. It's in a person. That person that killed King Von, I think, you know what I mean? Like, it was deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? It was so much deeper than that. Cause from what I seen was people fighting and it should have just been that. It shouldn't even been no guns
Yeah.
pulled. It shouldn't have been
Yep.
no guns pulled at all.
Right. And from what I know, it was another black man
Hmm.
that is being charged and convicted and soon to be convicted of that. Another black man.
Yeah.
That's deep. Somebody that this man probably knew.
Mm.
Somebody that this man probably ran with, or people that he ran with. It's crazy. And you wonder why people say black people killing other black people. So why do Black Lives Matter?
Mm.
Why is that even a thing?
Mm.
Is that a thing? Black Lives Matter. Do all lives matter?
Mm.
We need to be able to live up to what we promoting. And that's what that is. Because I believe that Black Lives Matter.
Mm.
I believe it.
Mm.
I believe it's a lot of people that been gunned down that didn't deserve to be gunned down.
It's people incarcerated that don't aren't even supposed to be there. That
But
shouldn't be
we're so busy
there.
worrying about the trends and worrying about likes that it's so easy for us to pull out our phones. Pull out your phone.
We need
We're
what?
going to record this and we're going to bring these very people to justice.
Huh?
Because if mine's is being,
And cousin, I'm gonna let you know now. If I'm going in front of you, don't pull out no motherfucking phone.
don't pull out no
Don't pull
phone
out
on
no
me.
motherfucking phone and record on me,
Pull
cause I'm
out
gonna
them
be on some
hands.
King Von shit. Like y'all let him get me.
Don't cry
Don't
now.
cry for me.
Don't cry
Y'all let
now.
him get me.
Y'all let him get me. It's
Hey, you gotta
good.
live in that. Like,
We good.
hey,
We good.
hey.
You know?
Hmm.
And that's why them cousins may seem boring. Because right now, it's not the time.
Hmm.
But maybe it is the time. Because we got to stop worrying about the trends and really fight for what's right in that moment.
Hmm.
Because we educated
Hmm.
a black man today on what it means to give somebody their roses while they alive and not while they dead.
Hmm.
For the simple fact that Tupac, maybe he wasn't a real one in the sense of being a gangster, on the sense of riding on the nigga and all that sense, but he taught so many black sons that that wasn't the way to go.
Hmm.
And even though it may seem like that's what he was promoting, that wasn't the message. So you got to listen. You got to pay attention.
Hmm.
And that's the meaning of being woke. Pay attention. Listen. Really listen. Really take the time to resonate with the people that you're listening to.
Hmm.
And a lot of times it may seem like ramble, but people so quick, they want everything so quick, they want everything so fast. Instant gratification. And that's why so many people addicted to things, addicted to drugs, addicted to trends, addicted to all kind of stuff because they want that instant gratification.
Hmm.
And that's not what's getting us to a higher place. That's not getting us to where we need to be. And that's not talking about singular. That's not talking about individuals. It's talking about us as a people.
Hmm.
When the last time you uplifted somebody? Because I know Tupac uplifted
Hmm.
me.
Still uplift me.
Still,
Still after
still,
the.
still. Come
Hmm.
on now.
Hmm.
We're not going to do that.
Hmm.
And as a matter of fact, we got a lot of content. We got a lot of stuff that we ain't put out. But we're going to put it out because
That's what the people want.
we didn't ask this man to engage in our conversation in the store.
He
He
felt
just
intrigued.
he saw something. He felt intrigued. He wanted to tap in, and that's okay. We got to be able to have these conversations
Hmm.
as a people, not as a black woman, not as a black man, not as a whatever you want to label me as, whatever you want to label him as, whatever you want to label the next as, but as a people.
Unity. That's a unit.
Unity. UNITY, that's
That's
a
a
unity.
unity. That's a
UNITY,
unity.
UNITY, that's a unity. And that's where we gonna leave that at.
Hmm.
Boom.
Boom.
Like, share, or comment, or don't.
Them first cousins. And we
Hey,
gonna always stand rooted in what we say. And we always willing to talk.
hey, so
Ain't
conversate.
running, ain't hiding, ain't doing
Hey,
none of that.
leave a comment. Let us talk about it. We
Hmm.
ready to talk. We ready to conversate. We ready to understand. And I think that's what it's about. Understanding.
What I need from you is. Hey, that was escape.
As simple as love. Like,
Understanding is
share, comment. And one day I'm gonna get me some better glasses because these ones they be kind of,
what.
they don't really flow with me in this life
You
stuff,
see how she trying to shit on them extra eyes?
Mhm.
She got all these eyes to be seeing some shit.
Ew.
And then
Mhm. Ew.
she trying to
Where
shit
you
on
at?
them.
Where you went? Hey. It was supposed to be Freestyle Friday. So before we go, we're gonna do a little freestyle.
Are
Even though
we?
it's Saturday, it's 2:11.
Okay, they gotta wait till next Friday.
All right, cousin said y'all had to wait.
I ain't freestyle right now. I ain't got my book with
You
me.
know.
My freestyle is freelance. I gotta, you know what I mean? Like boom, 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 boom. Cause I want y'all to understand the message. I don't want motherfuckers coming to give me my roses when I'm gone. Give me my roses now or pay me no never mind. Don't even come lay over or play over my body. Me and my cousin was talking about that today.
A that part.
Don't even no. If
Mm-mm.
we don't talk on an everyday basis, if you
Don't
don't
come.
know how I'm doing, I even tell my mom they shouldn't even know I'm gone when I'm gone. Cause the real one's gonna know, like, oh, that nigga ain't here no more.
Mm-hmm.
That one, not here no more.
He ain't here. And me and cousin, we be rambling and stuff. But one day we gonna have content. It's gonna be structured.
It's gonna
Cause
be structured. But y'all
people
see,
like
like it's this
structure.
been 45 minutes and we just talk. Cause we play off of each other emotions and shit. We was in
Hey,
the store about to tear this store up. Like, did you
real
read the
quick.
book? Did you read the? Did you hear them? Did you listen to Dear Mama? That man wrote that as a letter to his mama in jail and made it a whole song, a whole team.
A whole team.
What?
What?
Mm-mm.
I can't believe we've
I'm
been
not
on
gonna
here
let you
for
do that.
45 minutes.
I ain't gonna let you do that.
We wasn't even ready for this. You see,
But
I
our
got the
leaders do,
oily
you know.
skin. I
Our
was
leaders
cleaning up houses and cleaning up
are
bathrooms and washing. You gotta wash and you gotta clean up
and get it together. But our black leaders
at
do die in
midnight.
violence. You know what I mean? You gotta
You do. You do. You
nip.
do.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
And it's us. It's our own skin color. Come on, y'all. Pay
Biggie Smalls,
attention. Biggie, hmm.
Malcolm X,
Martin Luther
Martin
King.
Luther King,
Hmm.
Nat Turner,
Hmm.
and I could go and on and on. What's Erica Badu? Oh my, I'm
I'm
feeling
feeling
high.
my
My
money's
money's gone.
gone. I'm
I'm
all
all
alone.
alone.
Hey, I
And
want to
I
three.
don't even know what she's saying when she said,
The
world
world
keeps
keeps
turning.
turning. I think she said 1, 2, 3.
Oh, what a day.
What a day! What a
What a
day!
day. What a day. And I
Mm-mm.
appreciate this one viewer because every time we come on,
I'm
it's
starting to
always
believe
one.
it's us.
I think it's us. I think we logged on to another
Hey,
thing
I'm
and
starting
it's
to believe
us
it's us.
because it's always there, but I
But we
appreciate
fuck
it.
with us, so I appreciate us.
Hey,
I love you. I appreciate you.
it's us against the world at the end of the day. But,
Hey,
it's me, Asia Mac, and his cousin,
humble
Humble
king,
Ken. Them
them
cousins.
first cousins,
Them
them first
cousins.
cousins.
But anyways, peace, love, and everything else that come along with that.
Pay attention, y'all.
Hey,
Y'all ain't gotta pay for it, but pay attention.
but pay attention.
Don't chase these trends. Let these trends chase you.
That
Be the
part.
trendsetter.
Be the trend.
Mhm.
And we're out.
Out of there.
End and stream.
Peace.
And it's going to ask us, are we sure? And we
We are
are
sure.
sure.